Welcome in and thank you for joining us on the Pay the Price podcast. This season is called The Dawn of the Diliculum, and you are tuning in to episode number 3. So just to touch on the system, we like to kind of teach you a little bit here and there about the system. So what you'll hear us do during the session is talk about moves. And the Ironsworn and Starforged system, it tells you, or it essentially says when you're choosing an action, you choose a move. And then that move has a description of the action and as well as 3 potential outcomes. So I mentioned before that we might have a strong hit outcome, which is very favorable for you, a weak hit outcome, which is neither, it's neutral, or you have the miss outcome, which is the negative one. So each one, depending on the move, carries certain repercussions. Also, could have other potential aspects in terms of getting bonus momentum or losing supply or paying a price if you were to miss. So you'll hear us mention moves, and there's a whole defined list of moves that comes from the Starforged system. In this season, we're going to use primarily the ones that come out of the book, but in future games, when we're converting other systems, we might slip in some other ones just to customize it to fit that game and setting. So you can learn more about all that and everything else that we have going on, and show your support for us at patreon.com/samuraibeat. We will have patron exclusive content, and we'll be publishing other shows like The Midnight Connection, which is Eddie and my conversational podcast about just about anything, including parenthood, as well as providing online tools that you can use to facilitate your own games like ours. With all that being said, let's get into the game. My name is Chris Patu, and today I have with me the primary players of the Pay the Price podcast, starting with Mr. Eddie the Red Tree Fuentes.
Hello, hello.
The Guru Roman Picardo.
Good evening, everyone.
And the Muay Thai champ, Ivan Palaroan.
Howdy.
So before we dive into the actual session today, we'll do a quick recap of last session. So last time on the Dawn of the Diliculum, our intrepid crew had to make a stop at an outpost based on one of Sparrow's move rolls. So we roll up to the Tenzin outpost and discover on our way there that 2 members of the party have some history there, being Duke and Sparrow, in terms of one essentially being sought after. We're not entirely sure about the nature of that, and that was Sparrow. Someone is seeking him from that station, and then Duke had not really disclosed the nature of his history there, but it didn't sound good. And so, upon arriving, the ship docks and is greeted by one. Do we even say what kind of? Just a small figure. Do we describe him all that much? I can't remember.
Are we talking about Thump?
Yeah, about Thump.
Yeah, kind of think Space Gerbil.
That's right, the Space Gerbil. Space Gerbil Thump comes on board the ship to repair the engine. Unfortunately, he's got, what do we call it? He's got ulterior motives and decides to sabotage the ship by producing a gas. Tries to knock out the crew, brings in some other goons to help and capture us, but the crew is fast enough, got their safety suits on to combat the gas, and we're able to sneak around, take out Thump and the goons, and escape Tenzin Station before the arrival of a faction called the Ebon Reavers, which is the group that was looking for Duke. So the team manages to escape, and we are now exiting Tenzin Station before they could lock it down, and that's where we'll pick it up today. Ivan, you want to lead us off with setting the scene?
Sure. All right. So the scene opens overlooking a massive lake enclosed by vastly tall mountains. It sits deep within the forest, serene and untouched. The long sunny days paint the lake a clear crystal blue. A woman dressed in white sits beside the shoreline, gazing off into the distance. The same woman that longingly calls for Duke, who leads the Diliculum to this location. But as there are long, warm, and bright days, there are just as much long and dark, cold nights. When the sun begins to fall behind the mountains and night takes over, a mist begins to engulf the forest and blanket the lake. The mist grows to dense fog, and the manifestation of the woman slowly wisps away into the air. The lake, once calm, slowly begins to churn into turbulent waves crashing on the shore. A rumble can be felt through the ground, with the sound of wailing coming from the lake. Just beneath its surface is the glow of red eyes fading down into the depths of the lake. So pretty much, I just kind of wrote something because I had rolled a peril lies ahead or lurks just out of view.
Ooh, nice. Nice. It's a nice little setup.
All right. So we are back on the Diliculum on the way to an undisclosed location, right? Having recovered and gotten enough gas to get us out of there. And so I believe we are actually on the way to see this lady in the lake, but we don't know where.
Mm-hmm.
We have coordinates, but we don't know where
Duke has
gonna,
coordinates.
where that's going to land us. Yeah.
And did we get our engine fixed during all of that, or are we still missing a part because Thumb tricked
Thumb
us?
screwed us.
Yeah.
I think it was for the most part fixed, if I remember.
Yeah. It's not like totaled.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think we had, on the asset, one
tick, right?
one tick. That's what I was referring
Yeah,
to.
yeah. I would imagine we would still stay at that tick.
Okay.
So our ship would be at 4.
Yes.
All right. Do you want to, Sparrow, do you want to make one more of those, what do we call it? The progress, or not progress moves, but the move to see the next milestone?
Undertake expedition?
Yep. I believe so.
So is this the third one?
I have 2. The first milestone was passing through Tenzin.
Okay, that was the first one. We just got caught on the way with the ship.
Yep.
Yes.
Got you. Okay, so we need one other stop before we get there.
So we have it as a progress track to finding the Lady of the Lake.
Yes.
And so we could break that down into any number of different milestones until we make the roll to see if we actually do make it there.
Gotcha.
Wherever this final destination is.
So, yes.
Sounds good.
Okay.
We are nowhere on the progress track for deliver the shipment to Durango 5.
Because we already left. We abandoned. Might as well just abandon that one.
Ooh, but progress track. It was a vow. So technically,
It was a vow.
Yes, we all made a vow. And if we do that,
Yeah,
consequences.
You can still do it.
Too. We'll have to consider that.
Yes. So just have it in the back of our minds because that was the initial startup to when we first started. But wow, abandon a vow already.
Right off the bat.
Yikes.
So what are you thinking, Ivan? Are you going to go at speed? Stay vigilant?
I'm thinking speed just because Duke really wants to get there.
All
Let's do it.
Hit it.
So edge, roll. Bam.
Oh, nice.
Strong hit.
Goose.
We reach a waypoint.
All right.
Hey.
Envision it and mark progress.
Kind of waypoint do I want?
I'm going to hit the progress.
I don't know. What would be a good waypoint in space?
Maybe just like some sort of repair dock where we can get like a good night's rest and our ship fully repaired.
Also, like another station.
Yeah, that isn't hostile.
Like the space rest stop.
Yeah,
basically
the space like Motel 6.
Yeah.
Okay. So we could do like a okay. So we reach a neutral. Yeah, like a neutral. Yeah, interspace station.
Yeah.
Where we can just kind of regroup, resupply.
It'll be if
and
you
what
want
is,
to roll
what is
for
that
it.
station called?
Let's call it the Zemeran.
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 Like that.
All right.
Who wants to set up the Zemeran station? Paint that. Who wants to paint that picture?
I can go ahead and do it. So the Diliculum sees in a far off distance neon yellow emitting amongst the darkness. And the closer that the ship heads to it, that neon yellow thins out into the border that comprises a floating space station, almost looking like a top, like a spinning top, where it's like really thin at the bottom, and as it goes up, it kind of like goes outward. And we know that to be the Zemeran station, a neutral place in space for anyone to be able to go in and refuel, resupply, get a good night's rest. And while all the people that work there are trustworthy, the bars and the places of lodging can be kind of sketchy just because there's a lot of different kinds of people there. So you have to keep your wits about you, not of your ship, but about you when you're sleeping. And so we arrive and we land, and it's just, think of like a neon city. But instead of big, tall skyscrapers, it's more low to the ground, wide, horizontal. And you can see the reflection of a dying star in the background into space. And so we land with the Diliculum.
All right. Inbound courier ship. Please state your name and number of crew.
Zemarin Outpost. This is Diliculum. We have 4 souls on board. We'd like a place to dock, please.
All right, Diliculum, we've got you in and registered. You can go ahead and dock at Port 5, sending that location to your
Nav
radio. Yeah, to your nav system. Trying to keep it low tech.
Yeah.
Copy received. We will proceed to that docking station.
Are there any kind of particular supplies or services that you need while you're docked here?
We're looking for fuel. We're looking for food. A couple of some repair supplies, and we're looking for a place to stay for the night.
Copy that. We'll have an array of options available for you. You can choose whatever fits your cost.
Okay, thank you.
So as we pull in and port into the station, you see like a crew of 5 small-statured aliens. Now, these are not gerbil-like. They are longer, lankier, almost like the middle of their arm is as thin as a toothpick, but as you get to their forearms, it kind of flanges out. And you see them carrying like a cart of supplies and fuel covering it, and they wait at the door as we get out of the ship.
It's good to be in a quote-unquote neutral station. If y'all haven't been here before, this is considered neutral space. However, we still have to watch our backs.
Captain, all I need is just a good night's sleep.
I hear that. I don't know if I'm going to get it, though. This whole situation is it's like needling in my mind, all these different things.
If I may ask, Captain, what happened to you and your wife? If it's too personal, then you don't have to answer.
So as he's sort of having quick side conversations with the aliens to kind of get them to, negotiating a quick engine repair and some other resupply and things like that. So he's half talking to them and half conversing with you. It wasn't too long ago, but my wife and I, we used to do courier runs together. We were a great team. In fact, we met just by chance on a courier run that we. Funny enough, we were both sort of competing couriers, and it ended up, finding a spark between us. And we went a long time. We did real well as a pair, as a team. And, made a good name for ourselves. We had, regular clients. Things were going great. And then one day she took a job that was going to take her out to a different part of space. We'd done things like that before. It's just, usually it was together. And so we'd always come back, despite the circumstances. But this one she really wanted to take, and it was a one-man show. So despite my misgivings, I trusted her to do it, to pull it off and make it back. But she went off on the mission, and the ship that she was on it disappeared. And that was that. I searched. I went everywhere I could to find news about the ship, about the job, about what might have happened, about her and the crew, and it was as if they had simply vanished. And so everyone else is trying to tell me that she was surely gone, but I can't until I know for sure. I am not going to believe that. No matter how long it's been, no matter how long it takes for me to find some shred of evidence, some shred of proof that either she is truly gone or she's still around somewhere, and I'm going to keep looking. And I do the courier jobs that kind of push out on the rim to get more information, to find out what else I can, find out there. And now suddenly on this mission on this job, I have a vision, and it's never happened before. I'm not prone to these types of things. I know Luz is different, but it doesn't happen. I don't hear voices like that. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what's happening, but the hope that I might find anything at all that tells me something about what happened, or even the slimmest hope that I might actually find her there, is why I'm so willing to go. And I get it. You guys literally have just met me, you may have heard or heard about my reputation, but you're putting a lot on the line to go with me, and I'm sure my attitude and being Duke, you don't always get the appreciation for that, but you have no idea what this really means to me, to have you guys be willing to go with me. I know we've foregone our original vow right out the gate, and I can always settle up with that client later. He's one of my regulars, but I even think he would understand that I have to see this through, even if it's a fool's errand.
And is it from these voices that you got the coordinates?
It is. It was her voice.
And what's her name, Captain?
Jasmine. I wish I knew where the voices came from. I really wish someone else heard that, and it's not just me being schizophrenic or something. But like I said, me hearing it and then you seeing her there's some sort of destiny here. There's some sort of destiny happening right here.
You're absolutely right, Captain. If I had heard this story at any other time, I'd tell you that you're full of it and insane. But that is the woman that I saw at the bottom of the lake. So either way, whether it's my fate to help you or my fate to find her, I know that that's the place I'm supposed to go next.
So he puts his hand on your shoulder, like men do. Says, Luz, you live up to your reputation. And you're worth every penny. And he gives you a wry smile.
Luz lowers the shoulder so your hand slips right off of it, starts walking a little bit faster and says, I understand.
So with that said, the coordinates, I might check with this station's information, see if they have any maps or any other data according to the state or your coordinates are. I'll go ahead and get it to you, and I can check to see if there are anything, even if a tourist map or data would be helpful instead of going into this blind.
It's not a bad idea, actually. We could hit up the bars. If you guys are up for it, maybe we can find out some other information from other travelers. People come and go through here all the time.
Sure. Again, that was the intent. So at least we have some information. with the potential dangers, if not sights to see, since we're on our way there. And as for the vow for our client, technically we didn't give a timeline, so we are still on track with our vow.
He may not agree with that. But like I said, I can handle that.
Well, either way, I'm committed to you to do both. Technically, I'm being paid to do both, but I'm on your side, Captain, and if it's in my power, I shall help.
Any good place that has great lodging and is worth the credits in lodging is going to have a good bar. So why don't we kill two birds with one stone and find the place that we're going to stay tonight and maybe start asking some questions?
Sounds like a plan. They said it's going to take them the better part of the rest of today to finish that engine, so we have some time. Ooh, shall we do a gather information?
It's also...
Ooh, are we doing a bar scene?
Yeah, we should begin a bar scene.
We are also sojourning to a certain to a certain point. We're resting, sojourn. I think it's one of the moves called. So I thought we were going to sojourn too, but gather information sounds just as good move as any.
We could, sojourn is like the recovery.
Yes.
That's a good idea, actually. So, because when you spend time recovering within a community, you can roll plus heart. On a strong hit, it's a safe refuge. And then you can choose how you recover. On a weak hit, it's safe, but you're short on time and resources are strained.
Right.
So you can choose a limited recovery move. On a miss, you can only choose one such moves.
Sure.
Oh, choose one of the below. The community needs your help, or you find no relief at all.
Yeah.
The situation gets worse.
Since we're trying to repair our ship, maybe this place will take care of and resupply as well. See, this heal, heart, and repair or supply.
That's a good call. Is this my role because I'm the captain?
Yes, I would assume so.
All right, here we go.
Heart.
Here comes the heart roll. Oh, weak hit. Okay. On a weak hit, as above, time is short or resources are strained. You and your allies each make one recover move instead of two, with no more than 3 moves total among the group. Okay. So it is a safe refuge, which is what we expected coming in. You can choose a recover move, either heal, harden, or repair, or resupply.
And we can go to a maximum of 2 this go, correct? It's 1 per person, correct?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a lot of actual recovery to do, so I think...
I'm pretty much all recovered.
Yeah, I think we just call it a successful resupply and repair once the time has passed, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to agree. Woohoo! Good one.
You don't want to heal? I see you have 4 on health.
Did I...
Yeah, you took damage.
I thought I had rolled to not take that, or did I take it?
I don't remember.
Well, I'll heal.
Either way.
No, I'm going to keep it.
We got a badass.
Because I got clocked in the face by the...
It's a scratch.
By the lever. But yeah, I'll take that. Thank you. Good looking out.
Mm-hmm, of course. Got to look out for my captain.
It's a good thing we have the team dashboard. Wonderful tool. Otherwise, I'd still be injured.
And then...
All right, to the bar.
All right. And then technically our ship is fixed, correct?
It will be. Yeah.
Yes.
Once we allow enough time.
Back to it.
Excellent. Sojourn. Gotta love it.
Alrighty. Are we going to treat this like a scene?
Yeah,
gather information or scene. I think it'll be fun as a scene instead of a roll and pass or fail.
Okay. So if we treat it like a scene, beginning the scene, when you face an extended or complex challenge, name the objective and choose a rank.
So would the objective be to gather information on the mysterious coordinates?
Yes.
I think so.
I think that's correct.
So we choose...
Project Track.
Then you activate a 4-segment tension clock and face danger or secure advantage to take action. A tension clock.
4 tension
What kind of tension are we facing here?
Oh, we're in a bar. I don't like the way you smell.
Conflict is just naturally going to happen
Yeah.
at some point.
Well, 4 segments. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be a combat conflict. It could be like, you're being propositioned.
This is true. So, what shall we say is the tension we are facing? What could potentially happen after a certain amount of time?
Is there an oracle for that?
It could just be maybe the locals get way too suspicious that we're asking questions about something.
Oh, and then they'll just shut down. Oh, okay. But it's a rest stop, so how local can you get?
I mean, every place has to have a local, even if it's the people who just work there.
Yeah, and it is neutral, but it's, it's far from.
Yeah, it's not
worry-free.
friendly. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not friendly. All right, then.
So, the tension clock will say locals become suspicious, or do they actually take action against us?
Let's leave it at they become antagonistic.
Yeah. Or, right now it's neutral. There's like unfriendly and then straight out antagonistics. And then there's on the opposite and friendly and accommodating.
We'll leave it at a 50-50.
Okay, 50-50.
4-count clock.
Oh, right. So progress track is gain information of sector. Default is dangerous, or should we say formidable?
I'm wondering if a scene is designed to be like a challenge of some kind. Because I'm looking at these other moves that are related to scenes,
Mm-hmm.
and they consider it a challenge situation.
Yeah.
Which is why it limits you to either face danger or secure advantage.
Right. Good question.
Because it's basically you making progress against the clock.
Right.
So, I mean, we could still do it.
Yeah. We can make it work.
Yeah, we'll make it.
Yeah.
We'll finagle it.
Whichever triggers first.
Yes.
Fill the progress track or the tension clock goes off, and then you make the finish move.
Okay, so who has good heart? Which is the charisma. Oh.
Nobody really.
But
But I am the diplomat.
Yes.
So Duke is the diplomat.
Oh, yes.
So
That's a good asset too. Yeah, the diplomat.
let's see. What do we get with diplomat here? I chose the second ability. So when you make a move to diffuse, reason, or negotiate, add +1, which we currently are not doing.
You chose the second ability for...
I did, yeah.
Hold on. Take a quick look, because I thought everything starts with the first one, and then when you upgrade, then you can move.
Then you can choose? Oh,
Yeah.
well, let me know.
I'll look it up.
Either way, it doesn't really apply, because the first one is for swearing a vow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when you swear an iron vow to resolve a dispute, negotiate an agreement, or gather support. I'm not swearing, so
Okay.
it will not affect it. But let's do we'll call it secure advantage. I'm going to assess the situation first.
Okay.
Let's see what is the bar status at the moment.
You want me to give you the rundown?
You want to set the scene for the bar first?
Yeah, unless you want to.
No, you can go for it.
So, as we are walking from the dock area, the more industrial part of this settlement, get into a homier part. Again, everything's really low to the ground, single level kind of vibe. And we see this sign that's lit up with you could tell really crude wire that's been repurposed and reused from just recycled materials. And in big yellow neonish letters, you see NYX. And so you find that you are at the bar / lodging place of Nyx. And so you go inside, and as we all go inside, you hear the lively commotion of probably 24 people in this little hole in the wall. Now, once you get inside, it's very the walls are made out of an organic earthy material, kind of clayish, kind of hand pressed. You see repurposed LEDs lighting certain places, but it's all very low dim light until you get to the bar. And at the bar, it is a lot brighter, and you see the friendly face of the bartender. But as you look around the room, you notice that there are a lot of different kinds of people. You can clearly tell there are travelers, couriers, locals, some military types, and way in the corner under like a weird flickering LED, you see one table that has 5 gentlemen in red robes.
Is this a known organization, do we think?
I would say to us, probably not.
I did find it, by the way.
Okay.
All assets include 3 abilities. The first will be filled in when you purchase the asset.
Got it. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I'm thinking we have secure an advantage as a scene move, but that's, assessing the situation, making preparations, or attempting to gain leverage within a challenge. But I also kind of want to do gather information.
Asking the red robe dudes is curiosity bit. It could be hit or miss.
Should we just say if since gather information is not actually a scene move, but if we use it in this context, if there's let me see. The scene move, securing
Like
an
use it
advantage.
as a progress thing?
Yeah, I just want to see on a strong hit, you mark progress. On a weak hit, you don't. Okay, so it looks like only on strong hits for secure advantage, we would mark progress, if I'm reading that correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
On a
agreed,
strong hit.
if we use a move outside of that group, strong hit qualifies as a progress mark?
Sure.
Cool. Does someone else want to make the first gather information or whatever other move you might make?
No, you're the charming one.
Yeah, you have the
That's all
diplomat
you,
skill,
Captain.
right?
Oh, thank you. All right, let me try this. Plus wits. No extra help. Roll says weak hit. On a weak hit, information provides new insight, but also introduces complication or danger. Take 1 momentum. Awesome. Okay. So Duke, since we're just newly arriving at the bar, Duke strolls in, tries to get the lay of the land. It's a familiar setting for him. He's been to tons of bars all over space and everything, so he's not really nervous. Although you never can be too careful. He does notice this group of robed folks in the corner. Does not recognize them, but just the fact that they're kind of look organized and look like people not to be effed with, he's going to keep them in the back of his mind. But first thing he does, secures himself a drink. So he goes, approaches the bartender, and asks for a not too cheap, but an affordable, strong, stiff drink from the bartender.
So, what's your poison?
Yeah, I want something. Give me a good stiff drink for me and my friends here. We just arrived, and need something to really settle us down for a nice night of rest.
Okay. Hey, Charlie, 1 rock gut for the newbie. Coming up.
Yeah, make that 4, please, Charlie.
Okay, coming up. He put.
So,
Thank you.
What's the word over here? We're new to the area. It seems to be a pretty happening place. What's the latest?
Yeah, there's a pileup over on the Space Northwest Freeway. Pileup, as in, just in case you didn't know, since you're new here. Potential conflict. What else do we have here? Yeah, Jade is in love with Jeff again. Yeah. Don't know about the red robe dudes. So far, they just came in and kept to themselves. Didn't bother ordering anything. And that's my pet peeve. But thank you for ordering something. Enjoy your drinks.
No, I have a good question. you ever see any travelers, or maybe you've been there yourself, but have you been around the area at these coordinates? And he shows a little, it writes down the coordinates onto a little napkin there. These look familiar to you?
Haven't been out there myself. Maybe you can check with where is he? Oh, wait a minute. Jayla's there. She might have been in that area. I think she's a courier, so she might have taken a few packages and or deliveries out that way. Jayla, yeah, you can tell her that Rafe sent you.
Oh, he tips his glass. Much obliged, Wraith, fellow courier. I'll definitely go and make her acquaintance.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so Duke looks to identify Jayla. As luck would have it, she's bringing back drinks back to the bar, so she actually approaches the group. You must be, Rafe said you must be Jayla? Is that right? My name's Duke.
Well, Duke, what brings you around these parks?
Yeah, so Wraith tells me that you're a fellow courier, you might have some experience over in this sector of space. And he slides his napkin with the coordinates on it.
Yeah, let me take a look at this. So you're a fellow courier yourself? Who are you
Yes,
with?
indeed.
Opulent Trinity? Primordial Jade? Who are you with?
Oh, and none of the above, actually. My name is Duke. Did I not say that already?
Oh, Duke. Oh, okay, yeah. Nice to meet you, Duke.
I mean, you may have heard of me. Don't have much of a name in this particular area of space, but in other regions, I'm I might say a little well known over there.
Yeah, not sure I have heard of you, but
That's all right.
Let me take a look at these coordinates here.
No harm, no foul.
Yeah, these coordinates here, I don't particularly fly this route. This route is the Ziotis sector.
Ziotis, okay.
Nobody seems to fly over that route. It is pretty much a no-fly place.
No
I don't know if
fly.
you know, Duke, but there is it's kind of hidden behind a black hole. So, nothing really ever goes in. Nothing ever really gets out.
Is that you saying that this sector is hidden, or these coordinates in particular?
These coordinates particular are in the Ziotis sector behind a black hole.
Which is behind a black hole.
Which is behind a black hole.
I see. Fascinating.
So I don't know whatever business you have there, but that's a risky trip there, buddy.
And you're saying no one's ever been there and come back?
Listen, I had a guy looking for those same coordinates just last week. Haven't heard from him since.
What can you tell me about this guy?
Never told me his name, but he was a tall, rather tall, kind of burly man. Had a hat.
Man. Did you say anything about why he was looking?
No, he was kind of in a hurry, and you kind of look like in a hurry as well. So whatever's going down there, it's a pretty big deal.
You say anything about the ship he was on?
No, actually, all I saw was it was a pretty small ship. I would say from what I saw at the dock, it's a pretty small ship. Looked like carried maybe like a crew of 10.
10.
But it was probably like a speeder kind of ship.
Burly man with a hat, you say? Any insignia? Was he flying any colors? Anything like that?
He did have some sort of red painted on the side of his ship, and the ship was slightly armed. Definitely had some. I don't know if he's military, but he's definitely some sort of a hunter.
Okay.
As you guys are talking, there's someone sitting at the bar that's been so quiet the entire time. You guys actually haven't even noticed him because he's just flat out drunk, face down on the bar. But he begins to shuffle and raises his head and says, "Are you guys talking about the Ziotis sector? Is that what I heard?"
Yeah, we were. Do you know something about the place?
Know something about the place? Why, I was born there.
You were born there?
A much long time ago. It's a really sad story, but I had to leave. I was one of the very few to make it out before the Delta Star burst.
Well, I've got a little bit of time if you do, my friend. And, motions to have, was it Charlie, bring another drink?
Why, thank you. Why, thank you, young man. I sure do love this drink. It's one of the few things that can keep the nightmares at bay these days. I still have vivid dreams of the fields of my home, so lush and green like an open prairie, until you get to the tree line.
The tree line? I mean, I'm here for your story, sir. What's your name, by the way?
My name? No one's asked me my name in a very long time, but I think I remember it being Ruck.
Ruck.
That's right. Now you may remember, I don't know if you know your history of this side of space, but there once was a settlement in the Ziotis sector, the settlement of Preka. And in Preka, we had finally found prosperity living under the warm light of the Delta Sun. Until one day, the sun began pulling all of the planets and rocks and asteroids closer and closer to its center. At first, it was really subtle. I remember the people of the community starting to say that they heard voices in the forest at night. But no one could really corroborate the stories with one another until one day, the leader of our town was found covered in blood coming out of the forest after one night with no moon.
That sounds terrifying. Duke, as Jayla's passing by serving other customers, he leaves a tip and a thank you on her tray. What? How long ago was this, Ruck?
I'd say probably about 60 years ago.
And that I presume that was the cause of the black hole?
As far as I remember, honestly, at this point, I've drunk myself so deep that I don't even remember the face of my own mother and father as we got out of that planet.
How did you get out?
There was, I believe, one ship that made it out. Who was on it, I couldn't tell you. I just remember all the screams and chaos as we left everything behind. But it wasn't that we were running from the exploding star. We were running from the people of the town.
What do you mean?
Something about the nighttime made people start going a little bit stir crazy. Like I said, people were talking about voices in the woods and what these voices would tell them to do.
Did you ever hear these voices?
No, I never heard these voices, but my father did. I remember him coming home one very late night. My mother thought that I was asleep, but I could hear his wet, drenched boots slugging across the hardwood floor. My mother asked him where he was, and he said that he had been at the meeting lake with the rest of the people in the town.
Wait, a lake?
Yes, there is a lake in the middle of the forest. It's almost like an oasis. People go to it and find a bit of respite from the terrors of the forest. But it is no safe place. There's something evil in that forest and in that lake.
Did you ever talk to your father about what he heard, what he was told by those voices?
No, my father was a different man when we got off the planet. In the ensuing chaos, I lost him, and I lost my mother, in ways that I'd rather not talk about. But I'm alone now, and I think I'm the only one that's made it out.
Wow. I appreciate you telling me your story, Ruck, and I'm really sorry to hear about all that loss. It must have been incredibly tragic. I've experienced loss of my own, although not nearly on your scale.
When you experience loss at such a young age, it's nothing but a dream now. A nightmare, but a dream nonetheless. I just hope you don't find your way there. But if you do, stay away from the forest and stay away from the red eyes that live in the lake.
What are these red eyes you're talking about?
I don't know anything more than that. It's just something my mother always told me before I left the house.
Red eyes. And he looks over at Luce. Did you see red eyes in your vision? Do you remember that?
Captain, I don't remember red eyes in my vision, just the empty lake and the woman at the bottom of it. But who knows? My visions don't always tell me the full story, just what I need to know for my next steps. Now, young fella, it's been a pleasure conversing with you, but if you don't mind, I've got some other people to bother for some drinks. You have a great day now, and please, don't go into the forest. And the old man hobbles away.
The Duke spins around in his chair. Well, what's your take on all that, gentlemen?
If this is the place we have to go, I'm hoping that your wife doesn't have red eyes.
Well, she most certainly didn't when she was still with me. Who knows what's happened to her since then?
Captain, I didn't see any red eyes in my vision, but I did see that lake in the middle of the forest. Now, if you're telling me that we have to cross a black hole in order to get to this place, I won't ask it a lot, but I will ask it this one time. Is this worth our lives?
It's worth mine. But I can't answer that question for you.
Well, all I can say is I hope that Sparrow can fly as well as I hope he can. My vision showed me the planet. I know that's where I'm supposed to go. In what state I get there, I leave into your hands. And he points at Sparrow.
Sparrow, who is a pretty light drinker, is kind of already like half, tipsed. He looks at the captain. He's like, Captain, I'm with you till the end. I will get you to this planet, black hole and everything. And he just kind of just like slams his face down to the table.
What kind of pilot can't hold his liquor?
You look at his cup and he's only like not even halfway through his drink. That's how light of a drinker he is.
Look back at Charlie, and Charlie's like, oops. Kind of probably gave him a bit of a stiffer drink there.
Well, that's what Rotgut will do for ya. Good to know it's still that strong.
Now, Captain, I do have one query, and that is, I'm sure we've all noticed at this point, those people in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Do any of you guys recognize those robes? I feel like I've never seen that before.
I don't.
I don't think I've met another techno faction that has red robes. I don't recall anything.
So I will do a gather information myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll go to the bartender to ask about those people in particular. So what is it? It's a roll plus wits.
Yeah, you're ready.
Oh, thanks.
I got you. Team effort.
Weak hit.
We are making no progress, boys. No, we're not rolling our tension clock. We should roll the tension clock. All
Oh, yes,
shoot.
yes.
Tension clock.
right, so you got a weak hit. Let's not forget that.
All right, so I got a weak hit. So information provides new insight, also introduces a complication or danger.
Ooh, 51, just over the mark.
Okay.
All right, we're
Cool.
safe so far.
Safe.
So Luce goes up to the bartender, Rafe, and asks about the people in the corner, reiterating what Rafe had already told Duke, is that he doesn't really know who they are, but he does know that their ship landed around the same time as this other group of mercenaries on the corner, the other corner of the bar, and to maybe ask those people if they saw anything coming in. So Luce is going to go up to the leader of the mercenaries and with a drink in hand, offering the drink, and sits down at the table with them and is like, Greetings, everyone. I hope you guys are having a fine night tonight. A round for the table. Let us rejoice that we're here, well and healthy. But I do have a possible favor to ask of you fine gentlemen, if you would help out a dear old traveler like myself.
I was gonna say, no drink comes without strings, right, boys?
Yeah.
No, that's absolutely right. No drink does come without strings, but luckily, this string is a pretty short one. So, word has it that you fellas arrived around the same time as those red robed folks over there in that corner. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right, we did.
Do you guys know anything about them? I feel like I've never seen that insignia on those robes before.
I've never seen him either. Now, see, when we landed and we docked, me and the boys were saying, that's a weird bunch. Okay, we've seen a lot of stuff out there, but robes like that, and I tell you, the ship they came on, there's some weird stuff going on over there. In my opinion, we steer well clear of that group right there. I can't guarantee, but I'm pretty sure that when I saw their cargo doors open, I'm now. You didn't hear this from me, but I swear, and my boys here will swear, we saw chains on the walls of the ship. We saw shackles. We saw all manner of things that don't belong on a ship. You understand?
I think I do. Pretty mysterious indeed. Well, gentlemen, I won't bother you further, but I really hope that if anything were to go down tonight for any reason, that I could count on you having my back just as much as I would have yours.
You can until the next drink shows up.
Charlie, another round for the table, please. Take care of these fine gentlemen.
Coming up.
Gentlemen, good night.
Good night. Good luck.
Luce comes back to the group and tells the information to the group about shackles, chains, and weird things out of the cargo bay of the ship for the hooded figures.
We're going to drop our team supply to 4. Is that fair?
But didn't we resupply?
Yeah, we're in the middle of
this is
resupply.
like we're paying for all these things.
Oh.
All of
Okay.
that is incidental.
You think so?
Well,
Okay.
to a certain degree, as long as like if we're purchasing a house, then monetary comes into situation. But anything for the small stuff,
All right.
like for drinks, I'll find it out where it is. But again, there's no cash per se, so it's less things to track. So
Yeah, I know. Just we keep paying out
Yeah, it's true.
for information.
well, yeah.
Do we want to roll the clock after that conversation?
Oh yes, you could roll the clock after that.
All right, somebody else hit that one this time.
All right.
Above 50, we're safe.
Above. Where is the roll?
You can just use the dice roller.
I got it.
Oh, there you go. Let's tick it off.
Tick it off.
Tick. Okay, some of the locals are starting to see we're working the room a little bit.
Working the room. Working the room. Where are we on the progress track?
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
I mean, we got some information,
Yeah, we
right?
got information.
That's true.
We got the name of the sector.
Yeah.
We got some sort of history on the
Yes.
planet. We got a little bit of information on the red hooded people, although that's not part of the progress, I guess.
We could do
so at least 2 blocks. Two boxes.
We could do I think that's fine.
Okay. I'll put 2 boxes then.
So as Luce comes back to the group and says, look, guys, we've been here. I don't know how many more drinks Sparrow can take. So we're going to need to either hit the hay or do a Hail Mary. How comfortable are you guys? Maybe we just make a grand announcement and see who can help us out.
I think so. Oh, there's a lot of people in this
Yeah.
bar.
I mean, we got
I don't know if that's good
military.
or bad.
We got other
Well, we
couriers.
definitely got the support of the military folks over there. As long as we keep buying them drinks, we'll be protected.
Uh,
I trust the mercenary about as far as I can throw them.
yeah.
They look pretty heavy. I don't think we can throw them that far.
Exactly.
Exactly. Um. Is there anywhere else we can go on the rest stop? At this rest stop?
I'm forgetting some rest personally.
Again, we didn't get a chance. Especially you. You still haven't gotten your chance to go to sleep yet, Cap. Um, seems like it was only 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden you told us to reroute. So maybe we should get some rest, and for the rest of our resupply and our repairs, maybe we can get more information, just not at the bar. I don't know.
Look, I'm not going to pretend to know how you adepts work, but isn't there some sort of like collection of knowledge stored somewhere that you guys have that you can access at different parts? Maybe, like a library of sorts?
Okay. Again, I haven't been out of our compound, so if there is an information kiosk of sorts, and general, I guess I could look up there. Is that how these rest stops work, other than the bar and refueling and resupply?
Typically.
All right. So I get up, head over to Rafe. Hey, Rafe. Yeah, what's your poison? Actually, I just wanted to know, is there information kiosk for travelers like us, to get any travel advisories or other forms of warning, interstellar or planet-wide? Oh yeah, just head over to Gary's information booth. He'll help you out there. All right. Thank you, Rafe.
Look, guys, I'm gonna take advantage of this time, and I think I'm gonna turn in.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and see if there's any information on our sector at their information booths, and I'll turn in later.
That sounds good. I'll keep Sparrow company here and make sure he doesn't puke all over the bar top.
Okay.
You all right, Sparrow?
Oh, I'm good. Let's keep her going.
Charlie, 2 more.
2 more. The other guy hasn't finished his first one.
Nice.
All right, I'll give you 1.5. Actually, here, I'll give you 1, and I'll just top off this other's drink. Although that looks like it's only 2 drops worth.
I knew I liked you, Charlie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Luz, give me a roll.
Just any roll?
Yep.
Strong hip. 41.
I'm looking at the 41. Okay. All right. So while Goshi is out trying to get connected with the library database, and Luz and Sparrow are continuing the festivities at the bar, Duke makes his way back to a room and decides to call it a night. And of course, he's having trouble getting to sleep with everything that he's learned. He's trying to piece together what it all means in terms of like, why is he being called by whatever the heck is at this Ziotis, location, and he's trying to make sense of it all, and obviously there's just nothing to make sense of there. And he's trying to figure out how we circumvent the black hole. And in the middle of trying to process all that, he actually does nod off eventually and get to sleep. Unfortunately, Luz... Okay, go ahead. Sparrow, give me a roll too. Let's see. Okay. Neither Luz or Sparrow notices the group of 5 red-robed figures leave the bar. And, okay, Goshi, why don't you give me one too?
All right, let me just go ahead and use this thing. 57.
Not quite. Goshi doesn't notice it either. So the red robe figures leave the bar quietly. They just kind of slither and slink out without the rest of the party noticing. And the next thing we see is the 5 red robe figures outside of Duke's door, with no help there for him.
Oh,
And very, very quietly, one of them works a lockpick masterfully and has the door open, no issues. So now you have the 5 robed figures. So they're moving in almost soundlessly. It's eerie how they're able to just kind of slide into the room without making a single sound. And they find Duke laying on the bed, totally unaware. And one of the figures produces essentially a bag, a black bag. Reaches down, and as he's approaching Duke can feel the presence. He's kind of startled out of his sleep, just knowing that there's not just one pair of eyes, but several eyes watching him. Wakes up and turns his head only to find it enveloped by, essentially what kidnappers use for their victims. This guy has a bag thrown over his head, and he's thrashing about, but before he can even make an effort to get away from them, he's struck and knocked out and completely blacks out. So after Luz and Sparrow finish with their festivities, you guys return to the room to find the door open. You find Duke's bed totally, a shambled mess. Blankets, pillows strewn about on the floor. Not a lot else is messed up, though. It wasn't like anyone rifled through the room. And Duke is nowhere to be found. Thanks for tuning in to Dawn of the Diliculum on the Pay the Price podcast. Dawn of the Diliculum and the Pay the Price podcast are products and trademarks of Samurai Beat, LLC, which is a fan-funded organization made for you and made possible by you at patreon.com/samuraibeat. We seek to entertain and enable adulting gamers like you, and we appreciate your support, your confidence, and your inspiration. Thank you.